absolutely anybody. The reason is he has such a great offensive game. Av3k is kind of like, you know, a bulldog in terms of how he can play. He can just take a normal paced game and then all of a sudden throw in some crazy aggression, and that can catch out anybody, and he's really good at it. So Av3k, I think Av3k actually needs to play pretty aggressive to keep toxjq off the map, because if Av3k can keep a higher stack of armor, obviously you're seeing the two guys run on ZTN now. Just to give you an idea of the armors on ZTN, there's one red armor, that's 100 points of armor, and there's two yellows, and they're 50 each. You can carry 200 armor maximum and 200 health. So, you know, if Av3k can control the majority of the armor and keep his aggression in terms of either on the items to stop toxjq from taking them, he can, you know, again, keep toxjq down and off the weapons. And if toxjq doesn't have that stack, it doesn't sometimes matter how good you are at aiming. If you're completely outstacked, and stacked is a term we use just for saying that you have a lot of health and armor, then that's how he's going to beat toxjq. So it's really about who just plays the better game. There's going to be some real clutch moments. I'm still going to favor Av3k just because of his current dueling. He's been playing Duel in Quake Live a lot more, but I would by no way be surprised if toxjq just came out and blew this one away, because it's kind of like watching, you know, people remember toxjq in Quake as you remember kind of Slayer's Boxer back in StarCraft. He's that, you know, he's that iconic to the scene now, definitely, just from his reputation and his playstyle.
I mean, you could easily argue that what toxjq did in those 2 years for WSVG and then later on as QuakeCon, he is now the best Quake player of all time. He has the most titles in Quake of all time, and he has done more of a body of work than anybody. So how do you think now, taking about a year or two break, is his aim still going to be the same as it was?
I think Quake Live is actually easier to aim than Quake 4, which he was in. So I don't think he's going to have a problem hitting the crazy kind of 40 to 45 LGs and, you know, constant back-to-back railguns. So I'm not sure how much of a difference in gap the aim will come into effect in Quake Live as it did in Quake 4 between the two players. But I still think he's a monster. I just think that if he gets going, and you know, when toxjq gets going, you know it, because it just, things just keep exploding and dying, and you know, it's incredible to watch. But it depends if he can get that rhythm, and that's what Av3k doesn't want to let toxjq do, is get into that rhythm. Av3k really needs to get on the items. He needs to shut down toxjq from getting healthy, and we're about to go into this one. So, ready, Slasher? Am I taking this away?
I'm ready. You're doing it.
All right, so here we are then. MLG here on the 4th of July. I'm James Too Good Hiding. Joining me is Sturmy, and we're in a match between Serious Gaming Av3k and Ice Climbers toxjq, who used to be supported by Fatality, actually, an American gamer I'm sure you all know, but are currently representing his old clan, Ice Climbers, a notorious clan. And already off the bat, we've got Av3k with 150 armor. I'm with him at the moment. He took the red and also the yellow at the top of Plasma, got himself on a railgun. He's missing an LG, a lightning gun, and these three weapons in Quake, as he just gets railed, actually. Nice rail from toxjq, hitting the first maybe crucial shot. But getting the rocket, the LG and railgun are the three kind of core weapons to any match. And look at this. Even though he's got everything he needs, he's lost a lot of armor, Av3k. I'm going to switch over to toxjq, as Av3k's now down to 50 armor. toxjq did take some damage as well. Just missed the jump over to yellow. And I've got to say, we are going to see these guys fight for the next red armor. So toxjq being a little bit passive, and I'm not sure that was a very odd route to want to get back into red. I don't think he knew how hurt Av3k was after the 3 railguns, but he's let Av3k have the red, and this could mean trouble for toxjq over by Mega, because Mega's up. toxjq can't get in on it. You're going to see that's Mega just spawning down there by the light patched area where he spammed a rocket. Av3k's going to try and take it. It's one rail. Av3k going to go aggressive now. toxjq hits another one. And already, if you look at toxjq's accuracies, he's hit a 71% railgun. So you can already say, you know, 1 minute 30 in, he's definitely got his aim on. But Av3k's definitely defending himself really well here, Sturmy.
Yeah, I mean, toxjq had a really rough start, I would say, but he used his aim at his advantage. He hit pretty much every rail shot right there, especially when Av3k was attacking the red armor. And now he's pretty much trying to play the more defensive game.
That's it. And look at that. Av3k is exactly what I said about Av3k at the beginning of the game, is like he's able to turn on the aggression. He just knew toxjq would be somewhere near that teleporter looking for a defensive exit. Some players do that on ZTN. They wait by the teleporter. Enemy comes, jump through the teleporter. After it, you've got a few exits. Av3k comes in, really aggressive, gets the kill, and now they're exchanging some damage as well. So toxjq looking to go aggressive off the off getting fragged, as he has lost out on the first one. Av3k actually doing some damage to himself with the plasma gun to take one of those 25 health bubbles, stopping toxjq from getting any health, and that's really wise because toxjq is currently down to 54 health. That means he can die in one railgun, and that could have been the rail. And toxjq lucky not to get hit by Av3k there. He had a line or a shot, but didn't manage to connect. Sturmy, you play you know, a very good defensive game. You play a very good long range game. You know, you've thrown in a lot of new things into your game style, but this is a style that you're you know, very good at, a defensive play. What does toxjq need to do on the defense to, you know, get Av3k off the map?
Okay, on this map, toxjq right now needs.
Warning.
All right, guys, sorry about that. We'll be joining the game here in just a couple of seconds. We did get dropped for the call, or from the call, but we are going to be right back in it right now. So take it away, Too Good, Slasher, and Sturmy.
Yeah, thanks. All right, yeah, so welcome back. Oh, now I know what it feels like to do an MLG event. I love it. Technical problems. I'm not used to it because I'm so used to DreamHack. But all right, so here we go. 6-0 in favor of Av3k. We are back. Sorry, I've missed some of the game. I was just trying to make sure that we actually got Skype working again. We could maybe blame Microsoft, but who knows. So toxjq actually doing something that he hasn't done in this game, which is completely destroy Av3k with some aim. And there he comes, gets himself a nice LG kill, finally gets himself on the board. That's a 40% LG that's toxjq hit, another railgun. And this does mean that toxjq can be on a big comeback. Now, to explain, oh my God, could have been on a big comeback, but instead he eats big uranium slugs and goes down. But Av3k is hurt, 37 HP. Mega's going to spawn. He's looking a little bit careful that toxjq might come back in, but he does know that toxjq didn't have any core weapons to attack. And Av3k is going to clean up the map. And clean up the map just means taking pretty much every important item that there was available. So Av3k, despite losing that frag to toxjq's LG, he got right back in it. And that's going to be a huge miss for toxjq because ZTN, when you have a player in control as strong as Av3k or toxjq, whoever gets control, it's super tough to get them off. So I'm not sure about toxjq's chances now. With only 3 minutes on the board, as Av3k's going to look to clean this one up as well. As long as he doesn't get out-aimed, got to be slightly careful. And he picks up the kill and gets a mega as well. So Sturmy, I don't know if you were watching the game or just on Skype as well, but what have you made so far from the performance of Av3k and toxjq?
I just think that toxjq right now, at least in this game, he didn't play at his current level. I mean, I think he's capable of doing much more, and I think he was a little bit too shaky, didn't take the right decisions. I mean, he was always late for our power-ups. He was always scared to make any sort of decision. I hope that after this game, at least, he's gonna be a little bit more, calm and ready to, play at his best.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he's able to do. But toxjq is back in control, and 6 frags is not now impossible for toxjq to be able to pick this one up. He's just got just over 2 minutes. He's looking for Av3k. Av3k at the moment only got about 75 armor from a yellow and shards, and toxjq hits a nice rocket to railgun combo, and there's another railgun. One more will finish Av3k, and Av3k playing with toxjq but gets punished for it. And toxjq, look at that! Rocket off the spawn, rocket jump up, gets the kill, and he's in position to get the red. This is hugely important that he gets down to Mega. He's only got 1 rocket available, takes Mega, and a 4 frag difference. The game is on, and toxjq has finally found some speed, some wind in his sails. He's definitely picked up some pace, and oh my god, I didn't even see. How did he even see that? How did he? What the hell is going on, man? toxjq is shooting invisible Av3ks, and invisible Av3ks are dying right now. It's impossible, these shots. I do not know what's going on. And toxjq is like, oh, by the way, I was just joking. I am really good at Quake. I was just making you think I was as good a slasher for the first 7 minutes, but this is how I normally play. 2 frags are difference. Av3k has got to be sweating because all the control he just had is being taken away from him, and it looked easy. No, it didn't look easy. It looked impossible, but he made it look easy.
Well, it looked pretty easy for toxjq. I mean, especially right now, toxjq has red armor timing. He has 2 yellow to work with, but at least he's gonna take 1 for sure, and then he's gonna probably move forward and try to make the mega secure.
Oh!
Wow.
Jesus!
Wow!
Av3k tries to rocket jump out from the pit of death that would have been, and actually finds himself killed. And he's not even aware of how fast toxjq is, and this is why we call him the Terminator. Seriously, it's like he's chasing you, and you're in that, you're in the car, you're trying to get away, and toxjq is just chasing. He takes the lead. 30 seconds left. Oh, he's got to be careful though. Av3k just got Av3k is such a nice spawn for Av3k, and toxjq has to be so careful now because he's got. This is a risk. Okay, so Av3k got the LG, which meant that toxjq couldn't contest for the Mega. He's just rocket jumped to RA. He's only got 15 health. Av3k misses the railgun. 1 railgun will finish it.
Oh,
he goes for LG.
toxjq
takes the frag with rockets. He picks up the 2 health bubbles. He says GG and not even a sweat. And toxjq comes back to beat Serious Gaming Av3k. And look at the accuracy differences there. You've got toxjq on 37%. Av3k on 24. Av3k had the map for 7 minutes. toxjq took 1 crucial frag and let it go with a double rail, and then he just turned into toxjq. I don't know what happened. He probably yeah. You don't see comebacks like that very often, but you do, I guess, when toxjq are in tournaments, because that's why people consider him one of the best.